Hey lovelies, if mornings in your house are as busy as they are in mine, then make ahead breakfast ideas are key. And today it is all about these chocolate peanut butter baked oatmeal cups. Yes, they are absolutely delicious and very nutritious as well, not to mention the fact that my kids devour them, which is always a good sign. Now, this recipe, like all of my recipes, can be found over on our amazing meal planning site, healthymealplans.com. It allows you to browse more than 1,000 recipes, drag and drop them into your weekly meal plan, and then automatically generates your grocery list for the week. What could be easier than that? Now, without further ado, let's get to today's delicious recipe, these chocolate peanut butter baked oatmeal cups. So if you've got some ripe bananas in the kitchen and you're not sure what to do with them, this is definitely the recipe for you. So in my bowl, I've got 3 ripe bananas. Obviously, the more ripe your bananas are, the sweeter these muffins are going to be. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use a fork to mash them up. If you have a potato masher, that would be better, but I think I've mentioned this before in another video. My kids took my potato masher down to their play kitchen and I just have not had the energy or gumption to go fetch it. So a fork will work just as well. Use what you have. So I've got my mashed banana in my bowl and I'm going to add 2 eggs to this. I'll use that same fork to mix that all together until it's really well combined. Now, if you wanted to keep these vegan, you absolutely could by swapping in some flax egg here instead. To make a flax egg, you're basically just taking 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, adding 2 or 3 tablespoons of water, and that creates 1 flax egg. So you double that and then you'd have what you need for this recipe. Next, it's time to add the rest of my wet ingredients. So I am starting with some almond milk. You can go ahead and use dairy milk if you want to in this recipe. Just depends on your preference and what you have on hand. Next, I'm going to add some nut butter. I'm adding peanut butter here, but if almond butter is your preference, you could totally use that instead. And I've got some maple syrup. You can use a little maple syrup or a lot of maple syrup. It really just depends on how sweet you want these muffins to be. And then finally, I'm also going to get in here with some vanilla extract. I'll give that a good mix until it's well combined. I know it probably doesn't look very appealing right now, but I promise you it's going to become something spectacular. You can trust me, right? By the way, this is a great recipe if you are into chunky peanut butter. That adds a little more sort of texture and crunch to your muffins. That would work really well here. If you like regular peanut butter, that's fine too. And then it's time to add my oats to this. I'm using old-fashioned rolled oats, which are really hearty and loaded with great fiber. For a little bit of lift, I'm going to add some baking powder here, as well as a little bit of salt to really help enhance all of those flavors. Once I've got that all mixed together, I'm going to add my final ingredient, which are some chocolate chips. Now the chocolate chips here, I will mention, are totally optional, but of course, really yummy. And I promise you, your kids will not be disappointed. I'll give this one more big stir so everything's combined, and then I'll set to work on transferring this to my muffin tin. So here I've got my 12-cup muffin tin, and today I'm using these amazing parchment paper cupcake liners. They are so convenient, nothing sticks to them, so they're perfect for this kind of baking. I highly recommend you use them. Then I'm just gonna use my ice cream scoop to transfer my batter into each of my muffin cups. And I should mention, these hold their shape a little bit better than, say, a traditional muffin, so you don't have to worry about getting a little close to the top. It's not gonna sort of ooze over the way a regular muffin might. And so I like to go almost right to the rim. Just before baking, I like to top each with a couple more chocolate chips for good measure. This is definitely optional, but I find it makes the finished product look so pretty and also obviously makes it more chocolatey. These are ready to hit the oven. I've got it preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and they're going to be hanging out in there for between 20 and 25 minutes, just until they're set, and then they'll be ready to devour. When they come out of the oven, you are going to be in heaven. Oh my gosh, guys. The entire kitchen smells like banana and peanut butter and chocolate. Totally irresistible. These are absolutely perfect if you want to enjoy them as breakfast or as a snack. I love them because they store really beautifully in the fridge. You can just let them cool and then store them in an airtight container for up to 5 days. So they're a really great make-ahead meal option. Oh God. What is not to love? It's chocolate, it's peanut butter, it's banana. That is a breakfast I can get behind. Guys, I hope you love this recipe as much as I do and that you will give it a try for yourselves. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo because you know how much I love seeing your kitchen creations. Remember, this recipe, like all of my recipes, can be found over on healthymealplans.com, our amazing meal planning site that allows you to browse more than 1,000 recipes, drag and drop them into your weekly meal plan, and then automatically generates your grocery list for the week. What could be easier than that? Thank you, as always, so much for watching. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.